Hi, I'm Leroy Morrison with KC Cheeseworks, and here we're at I-35 this week in Winston, Missouri, where there's more dirt tracking at its best. And we'll have our E-Mods, Pure Stocks, Grand Nationals, USRA B-Mods, USRA Stock Cars, and USRA A-Mods with a couple of guest classes of the Sport Compacts and the MOVR Vintage class. And we'll have a good night of racing. They just got done watering the track. People are filing into the pits. Drivers' meetings going to happen here in the next 30 minutes, and they're about to build a second terrace here in a few weeks. They'll have a second terrace. There's already poles put in. They'll be right above, right over there, and we'll get going, get racing.
I am, and so is the 75X of Randy Smith Jr. He leads the field of green. A good jump over the 66X of Jimmy Masoner Jr. The 05 of Derek Carney. He's going to slot into second as we are 2 by 2 by 2.
Carney, he will take over that second spot. Masoner not with a good start. He will slide back to that third position, and here comes Manly Lamar. 12 gauge of Jason Nelson. He and the 50 of Leroy Morrison take up right where they left off doing battle, as Nelson will slip back as Bobley will take over that spot. Nelson and Bobley do just a little bit of battle as they go through 1 and 2, but up front, everybody chasing that 75 of Randy Smith.
The 4M of Manly Lamar, he's to the inside of the 66X of Jimmy Masoner Jr. He looks to almost clear him off of turn 4, but unable to. Here comes back the 66X of Masoner Jr.
Car number 31 of Amanda Akers off the track. Amanda Akers, she is off the track. She has pulled that car to the pits. Her night is over. Here comes Derek Carney working on the leader now as we come down the front straightaway. Carney and Smith battling for the front.
The 05 of Derek Carney picked up his first win just a few weeks back, and the confidence seems to be soaring as now he's going after the 75X of Randy Smith Jr. We're 3 wide for fourth back in the pack. The 66X of Jimmy Masoner Jr. He will hold that as the 50 of Leroy Morrison. He's over the berm in turn number 4.
Leroy Morrison just a little too hard down in 1 and 3 and 4 rather. He jumps that berm, taking him out of win contention. Up front, the 75 of Randy Smith and the 05 of Derek Carney. They are doing battle as they come down the front straightaway. Carney low and Smith high.
The 05 of Carney tries to get to the inside quarter panel of the 75X of Randy Smith Jr. Unable to make it happen that time, as we are still 4 deep for 4th place here at I-35 Speedway. Now the 46 of J.J. Bomley. He looks to the inside of the 66X of Jimmy Masoner Jr.
Bomley always seems to find that way to the front, but speaking of the front, halfway through this feature, we better keep an eye on it as we got one around. Leroy Morrison loops it down in turn number 1 and 2. First yellow flag halfway through this feature in the E-Modifieds. Leroy Morrison loops it unassisted down in turn number 2. Side by side. Sayers on the inside, and the 95S, 13J as the lights are out. Are you ready to rock and roll, Jacob? Here we go.
Off of turn number 4, the 75X of Randy Smith Jr. He leads the field of green as a 66X of Jimmy Masoner Jr. He's going to split the gap over the 4M, and back goes the 4M of Manly Lamar. A tough restart for him is off of turn 2, the 46 of J.J. Bomley. He now slots into 3rd.
As we go through turn number 3, we got a battle for the lead. Derek Carney, the quiet child, looking on the inside. He and Smith going to be battling side by side, unable to make it work. A little bit of contact between, and up he goes. Bouncing around, gathers that car back up as there was contact between the 46 and the 05 of Derek Carter, as yellow caution on the racetrack. Green flag in the air, race fans. They come off turn number 4 as they head into turn number 1. Randy Smith still going to lead them. Here comes J.J. Bomley into that second spot, car number 46. Here comes the 4M of Manly Lamar, 66X. Jim Masoner, he will run in that 4th spot to battle now. Leroy Morrison up in the mix of 12 gauge of Jason Nelson as we come down the front straightaway. Nelson makes that move. He will get by the 50 of Morrison. Here comes Derek Carney back in the mix as he is starting to fly through the pack coming back to the front. Battle for the lead as we get out front. Driving car number 46. It is J.J. Bomley as we come down the front straightaway. Bomley has that car out front, 46 to the front. Randy Smith seems to be slowing down in that car number 75X. Here comes the 4M of Manly Lamar as he is trying to work on the inside of Smith.
Over in turn number 3, it looks as though the 13, Chris Mercer, he has pulled that car off of the racetrack, but up front it's the 46 of J.J. Bomley. The battle is for second between the 75X of Randy Smith Jr. and the 4M of Manly Lamar.
As we come down the back straightaway, Bomley got that car out front trying to make it 2 in a row as he was your winner 2 weeks ago. Right there in that second spot, driving car number 75X, it is Randy Smith Jr. And here comes Manley Lamar's. The white flag comes out on the racetrack. One more time around for the 46 of J.J. Bomley.
Bomley has about an 8-car length lead over the 75X of Randy Smith Jr. He's going to work through turns 3, work through turn 4 as the 46 of J.J. Bomley will pick up the E Modified feature win. Second will go to the 75X of Randy Smith Jr. Third to the 4M of Manley Lamar. Fourth to the 12 gauge of Jason Nelson. And coming back after having to go to the rear, the 05 of Derek Carney.
Feature winner, the 46 of J.J. Bomley. As he picks up his second feature win in a row in that car number 46, J.J. Bomley celebrating in victory lane here tonight, E-Modified style. The green flag as they come off turn number 4. Green is go. Great start by the front row. Boussard on the outside, Brett Heater on the inside. Heater will lead them as we go into turn number 1. As they go down the back straightaway, Dean Ray going to be looking on the inside for that second position as Heater is pulled away to a 2-car length lead as we come down the front straightaway. Sauter way up the racetrack. That's going to allow Hollywood Dean Ray to get on the inside, but here comes Sauter back. Cheater Heater engines out front. Big time bail bonds on that 05 as he is going to lead them down the back straightaway. Again, Brett Heater out front. Last time he was here, he picked up the feature win. Can he do it here again tonight? As we come down the front straightaway, we have one over the bank. Looks like he gathers it back up. That is Greg Gilbert in car number G23 as he gets it back out on the racetrack. As around goes Mick Ross. Ross loops it down in turn number 1 and 2. Gene Stiegel involved in the S20. Everybody else gets by. Tough break for the 34 of Mick Ross. Side, a little bit of contact there as you get ready to start. Sauter into the back of the 05 of Heater as we come down the front straightaway.
The 05 of Heater, he will take that car into turn number 1. The 77 of Dean Ray, he's going to try to find the grip on the low side. He's got it. They're going to be side by side down the back straightaway.
Little bit of a preferred line on the high side, but here comes the 77 of Ray back as Sauter over the bank in car number 83A. A little bit too high as he enters turn number 3. That will bring the yellow flag out onto the racetrack.
Speedway.
Yeah. Always an impressive resume with those front drivers is Brett Heater. He has about that many feature wins. He and Dean Ray going at it as they go into turn number 1, coming off turn number 2. Heater cranks that car sideways. He has got that 05 on a rail here tonight as he pulls out to a 2-3 car length lead heading into turn number 3.
The 05 of Brett Heater. He knows how to work the high side of a racetrack. That's where he's at tonight. The 77 of Dean Ray is in second. Now moving into the third place position is that 28D of Gary Donaldson.
Donaldson making his presence felt as he has got a fast race car. We got Anthony Witham and the 83A Aaron Boussard looping it down in turn number 1 and 2.
Into turn number 4, the 05 of Brett Heater. He's going to wait till that cone on the tire. Then he's going to get to the gas, and we're back to green flag racing at I-35 Speedway.
As we go through turn number 1, coming off turn number 2, Gary Donaldson extremely fast. How about that car number 5K of Keith Simmons as he is also in the mix. That time, Dean Ray up to the side of the 05 of Heater. Ray low, Heater high. Chevy outside, Mopar inside as we come down the front straightaway. Heater by half a car.
The inside lane is really starting to show that it's got some grip down there. The 77 of Dean Ray, 3 tires on the ground. He's lifting that left front, but the 05 of Brett Heater, he's still out front here. So we've got a yellow flag on the Speedway, the 26 of Anthony Witham and the 83 of Boussard, both around over in turn number 1.
Take us, Jacob.
Off of turn number 4, the 05 of Brett Heater. He will lead the field back to the green flag. He's going to now go to the inside lane. He's seeing that there's some grip down there. He's going to try it as the 77 of Dean Ray. He's now going to go to the top side. Is it still the 05 of Heater out front?
Dean Ray can run anywhere on a racetrack in that car number 77. He is going to go up the racetrack. He has got that run, the high side momentum as we are going down the front stretch. Dean Ray, new leader at the line, the 77 Hollywood.
The 77 of Dean Ray. He is now out front, but back comes the 05 of Brett Heater. He's going to look back to the inside. This time he's going to follow him up to the high side of the racetrack. On the bottoms, the 28D of Donaldson. Throw him into the mix here down the front straightaway.
Gary Donaldson, he is also a great race car driver. Let's don't count him out. He has got that low line working. He and Heater are going to be battling. Dean Ray now by 2 car lengths. How about Hollywood getting that car out front? Mopar pulling away.
The top two running the extreme high line of the racetrack. That 28D, he's trying to find the grip on the bottom. He almost gets to the inside quarter panel of the 05 a Heater. It's still a 3-car battle up front.
How in the world can he get that shocker chassis to work on the low line? There is some grip down there, like you said, Jacob. People starting to figure it out. Brad Heater and Hollywood Dean Ray, 2 of the winningest stock car drivers. They are battling up front as we are going at it tooth and nail. Again, Dean Ray with Heater within inches.
This time, Heater's to his inside. He's going to work the inside line. He's going to slide up a little bit of contact off of turn number 2. The 77 of Dean Ray. He now slips away in the 05 now in the clutches of the 28D of Donaldson.
Brad Heater doing everything he can. Again, a little rubbing, but rubbing is racing as we come down the front straightaway. Now Donaldson moves the car up the racetrack, cuts back in on the inside. He and Heater going at it as they come down the back straightaway. Donaldson's getting a run on that car number 05 of Heater, but up front, everybody chasing Hollywood Dean Ray in car number 77.
The 55 of Drew Huff exploded a tire over there in turn number 2. He pulls that car off of the back straightaway. Back out front, it's the 77 of Dean Ray. The 05 of Brett Heater chasing the 28D of Donaldson. He's in third. The 34 of Mick Ross is in fourth, and we've got a battle for fifth between the 12X of Matthew Lance and the 5K of Keith Simmons.
34 of Mick Ross, he has found that high line to his advantage as he is starting to bring that car back to the front. He had to tag it to the rear of the field. He is up to that 4th spot. Dean Ray again right up next to the wall. So is Brad Heater, the one running the inside. As Yella comes out on the racetrack, 26 of Anthony Witham down here on the inside of turn number 4. On a rail tonight, it's a green flag back out.
Off of turn number 4, the 77 of Dean Ray. He's going to get about a car length over the 05 of Brett Heater. Brett Heater will follow him on the top side of the racetrack. The 28D of Donaldson, he's going to go low. It's a 3-car battle down the back straightaway.
As we go through turn number 3, Dean Ray having it his way as he has got it on the top side. Brett Heater up to racetrack 2. Gary Donaldson staying on that low line as he is making that work. He and Heater side by side. Heater still hanging on to second.
2 to go that time by. Over in turn number 4, both the 77 and 05 got a little bit high, but it's still about 4 car lengths off of turn number 2 between the 77 of Dean Ray and the 05 of Brett Heater.
Heater slips a little. That's going to open the door for Donaldson as a white flag comes out on the racetrack. Down the front straightaway, Heater will hang on to second with a 77 array out front.
Off of turn number 2, just 2 more corners to go for the 77 of Dean Ray. He's got about 5 car lengths over the 05 of Brett Heater. Brett Heater will settle for second as off of turn number 4, the 77 of Dean Ray will pick up the USRA stock car feature win. Second will go to the 05 of Brett Heater. Third to the 28D of Gary Donaldson. Fourth will go to the 12X of Matthew Lance. And rounding out your top 5 was the 5K of Keith Simmons.
Win. He takes the lead early. He takes the high side. You take the low side. You work. You finally get up to him. On the restart, he takes the inside. You decide I'm going to the high side, and you pull off the victory here tonight. Take us through that feature.
Thank you very much. One of the toughest customers in the business right there, I'll tell you. I think maybe the few laps I've had around here in my day might have helped out.
Might have helped a little.
He's tough, I'll tell you.
Gary Donaldson right there, also another great driver in that 28D. I'll tell you what, a good field of competitors here. That Nationals is going to be something to behold here on this 3/8 mile track.
Ought to be a heck of a show, I'll tell you. Thank you.
Should be a show. The race fans, another big round of applause. The Hall of Famer, Hollywood Dean Ray. In B Modified style. As we come off turn number 4 down the front straightaway, great battle between the 2 team cars. The 07 on the inside, 57 on the outside. GRT chassis up high. He will take the lead. Randy Ainsworth out front in that Wabash Barbecue number 57. As he comes down the front straightaway, he's still going to lead him, but Daniel Harris not going to go away as he runs in second. Blake Pierce in that 3rd position. And here comes Johnny McGinnis in car number 10 as Jeff Elder, heavy damage to the front of that car. He will take it into the pits. Looks like 94 Hilliard will cut that car through the infield, get it back out on the racetrack as Ainsworth pulling away. Him and Harris setting sail as they run 1st and 2nd on the racetrack. Randy Smith going to already be dealing with lap traffic as he is going to look on the inside of Jared Hilliard. Hilliard up high. Here comes Harris on the inside. Harris will clear him too as they come down the front straightaway. Here comes Blake Pierce in that 16. He will also clear him as they head into turn number 1. As they come off turn number 2, Blake Pierce slips up. That's going to open the door for Keller, but nothing doing as Pierce comes back on the outside. He will hold on to that third spot. Here comes Bud Wilson. Johnny McGinnis fading just a little bit. As car number 15, Ed Knoll, he looks on the inside. He is unable to make any forward progress. Randy Ainsworth got that 57 out front as he goes down the back straightaway. Randy Ainsworth pulling away. Jacob Blair, he is starting his move toward the front as around goes Austin Bozak. Car number 14B loops it, bringing out the yellow flag onto the racetrack. Yellow flag in turn number 1 and 2. Them right there, middle of turn 3 and 4 on the go pedal as we come down the front straightaway. Doug Keller thinking about 3 wide as a little bit of contact. Here comes Pierce on the inside for the lead. Randy Ainsworth and Daniel Harris going at it up front, and Blake Pierce also in the mix. Harris looking a little bit lower on the racetrack, trying to find a way around the 57 Ainsworth. Unable to make it work as Ainsworth will hang on to that lead with 5 laps in the books. That time by B Modifies. What racing action? The man on the move. Keep an eye on him. Is that 15 of Ed Knoll as he starts his march toward the front as we go through turn number 3, off of turn number 4, down the front straightaway. Daniel Harris is doing everything he can to run down at 57, but Ainsworth, a cool man under pressure, he will keep that car rolling. Jared Hilliard in that car number 95. Problems down in 3 and 4. Gets it gathered back up as he needs to pull that car into the infield, get out of harm's way. A lot of damage to that race car. Looks like a flat left rear tire for the 94 Jared Hilliard. Tough break for him. As looks like Ron Hill having some issues with that car. He is just going to pull it on into the infield also. Gathers it back up. So he is out of harm's way. As the racing continues to be hot and heavy as the best of the best going at it up front. Down the back straightaway, 57 of Randy Ainsworth. He is going to lead them as we go through turn number 3, coming off turn number 4. Battle now is for that second, third spot as Daniel Harris has second, but here comes Doug Keller trying to take it away. Keller on the inside, Harris on the outside. Looked like So 7 was your second place car, but Keller starting to edge ahead as we go down the back straightaway. Keller in car number 7, Harris in the 07, 57 Ainsworth up front, 16 of Blake Pierce runs in that 4th position. Here we come, race fans, into turn number 1, off of 2, with Ainsworth still leading, 10 laps in the books. As we go down the back straightaway through turn number 3, coming off turn number 4, Ainsworth way up the racetrack, got that car working to his perfection as he comes down the front straightaway. He will take that car hard into turn number 1, coming off turn number 2. Doug Keller slowly making his way to the front as he has got that car in the second position with Randy Ainsworth out front. Here comes Daniel Harris, a good run for him in 3rd spot. And how about Blake Pierce in that car number 16, giving that car a good run as he will be in the 4th position with a 22W. Bud Wilson rounding out your top 5. 15, Team Doughboys, Ed Knoll, he is in the mix as he has got that car up as the 7 of Doug Keller starting to work that inside. He is slowly gaining with 2 laps to go within 2 car lengths of 57 Ainsworth. Ainsworth cuts that diamond down in turn number 1 and 2. He will hang on to that lead, but only by 2 car lengths. Here comes Keller on the inside. Keller and to 57 Ainsworth got it working as they come down the front straightaway. Ainsworth as the white flag comes out. As we go through turn number 1, coming off turn number 2, Keller low. He is going to take that point. He and Ainsworth battle it out. Keller will take that spot. As they come through turn number 3, off of turn number 4, side by side to the line, Doug Keller in victory lane. Second place, 57 of Randy Ainsworth. Third place, 07 of Daniel Harris. Fourth place, 16 of Blake Pierce. And round out your top 5, the 22W of Bud Wilson. Big race, Doug. Walking up here, I'll tell you what, you had your work cut out for you there. You started back in the pack. You picked them off one at a time. You held that low line the entire race, made that car work, and you find yourself McCarthy Auto Group winner's circle.
Yeah, that's exactly the way I want a racetrack, where it's just slick enough that they'll stay up there and I can run the bottom in the mud. And we put new brakes on it last night, and they kind of failed me there, and I looped it on the last lap, and my wife wouldn't even talk to me on the way home. But I said I don't come to run second, and they hit the firewall down there on about 3 to go, and I started pumping them, so I don't know what I did wrong. We put brakes on, but anyway, it worked good enough. And like I say, I love the bottom. It had so much grip, even when the brakes didn't work, I just mashed the gas and made the back end come around, and I knew we were good when we come to green, and it popped a wheelie. So I said, we're going to have some fun tonight.
I tell you what, you did have some fun. Randy Ainsworth, always a pleasure to work with. Other good batters and young drivers. Daniel Harris with a great run here tonight also. But you're the man standing in victory lane.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, it was good and clean. I about got the 16 there on that restart and tried to make it 3 wide because I was hoping I beat him on that yellow, but it didn't work. And I locked him up and got into Bud, and we kind of tangled there for just a second, but hopefully he was okay, and we all went on.
He did. Great race in action. Take that car behind the wall. Enjoy this victory. Let's give him a big round of applause. In victory lane, the 7, Keller.
At the cone on the tire in turn 4.
As we come down the front straightaway, side by side, green flag waving. Derek Hicks is going to take that high line into turn number 1.
The 31 of Coates, he falls back early. The 29 of Dennis Elliott with a strong move on the inside of the racetrack. He's to the inside of the 78 of Derek Hicks.
Hicks way up the racetrack. He is going to wiggle, woggle around. Here comes Jared Steens as he is going to make his presence felt as Hicks will settle in the second with Big Daddy Dennis Elliott out front.
Big issues on the front straightaway. The 17X of Nick Haynes has issues. The 98 of Austin Johnson, your points leader. He's pulled that car to the infield. Big point implications here tonight at I-35 Speedway. The 98 of Austin Johnson in the infield.
As we come down the front straightaway, Dennis Elliott out front. He is going to run that low line. Derek Hicks on the high line. Hicks seemed to get that corner figured out. Jared Steens and Chad Clancy going at it for third and fourth. Great racing action throughout the field.
The 29 of Dennis Elliott, he's out front. The 78 of Derek Hicks runs second as over the berm in turn number 4. It's the 11 of Darren Shaw. He has issues. He's going to take a hard right-hand turn, pull that car off of the speedway. A tough break for the 11 of Darren Shaw.
Maybe just a little bit too high. Car not working for him as he is through for the night. But up front, the battle still rages. Jared Steens looking at low line as Chad Clancy now the high side. Give third place to Jared Steens in that 59 car.
The 29 of Dennis Elliott, he's starting to pull away from the rest of the field. The 78 of Derek Hicks, he still runs second. The battle has calmed down just a little bit for that third place position, but back comes the 21C of Chad Clancy. He's back to the inside of the 59 of Steens.
Jared Steens and Chad Clancy, they are putting on a show for that third and fourth spot. Jared Steens now moves that 59 to the top of the track as Dennis Elliott uses the low line to perfection in 3 and 4. Elliott, your leader down the front straight.
The 78 is the only car. The top 4 working the high side of the racetrack. The 29 of Dennis Elliott, he's finding some moisture down there on the bottom of the racetrack. He's continuing to pull away. Now about 8 car lengths between him and the 78 of Derek Hicks.
Derek Hicks with a good run, though, as he runs in that second spot. Blue oval on the front of that race car as they come down the front straightaway. Dennis Elliott, podium ink on the side. Can he lead every lap of this feature once he got by Hicks?
The 59 of Jared Steens, he's starting to pull away from the 21C of Chad Clancy. These 4, they have kind of set sail from the rest of the modified field. The 99 of Billy Hoover, he's currently in 5th place, followed by the 2H of John Hansen. The battle on the racetrack is for 7th between the 97 of Houston Johnson and the 17X of Nick Haynes.
Been impressed with Jared Steens. He has started racing here mid-season at I-35 Speedway. He has found success. He has been the top 2 to top 5 each and every race he has been here. But up front, also finding success last 2 years. Point champion, the 29 of Dennis Elliott.
Right now, the 29 of Dennis Elliott, he's only 23 markers back from your point leader who sits in the infield. Big points, a big point shift going to happen at the end of this one. The 29 of Dennis Elliott, he's still off a turn number 4, halfway that time by.
As David Coates really loose down in turn number 1 and 2. He gathers it back up. As we go down the back straightaway, Dennis Elliott has got that car on the rail. He will be dealing with lap traffic here real soon as 10 laps halfway through this feature.
The 29 of Dennis Elliott, he's still out front. He's now got about 12 car lengths between him and the 78 of Derek Hicks. The 59 is Jared Steens. He's starting to reel in the 78 of Derek Hicks, and still 4th is the 21C of Chad Clancy.
Jared Steens, Derek Hicks, they are neighbors up there in northwest Missouri. Steens lives in Maryville. Hicks in Ravenwood as they're going to be doing battle for that second, third spot. Elliott, no problem with lap traffic as he heads into 1.
Now it's going to be the 78 of Derek Hicks' turn to work around the 31 of David Coates. That's still about another lap away from happening. Issues for the 54 of Buzz Caster. He's going to take the hard right-hand turn over the turn 3 berm and take that car to the infield. A tough break for the 54 of Buzz Caster.
Great racing action again as Derek Hicks having trouble with that 31 car of David Coates. He will now dive it to the inside. He will clear him, but that's going to allow Steens to close up a little closer. Not close enough to take advantage of as Hicks hangs on to second.
The 78 of Derek Hicks, he's now going to work the low side of the racetrack. The 59 of Jared Steens, he's now it's his turn to work around the 31 of David Coates, but back up front. This one is all the 29 of Dennis Elliott.
Jared Steens, he clears the 31 without any problem. He will take over that 3rd spot as we come down the front straightaway. 29 of Dennis Elliott. He has used that low line. Dennis Elliott, known for his low line racing here at I-35 Speedway. He will lead lap number 15 as he goes down the back straightaway.
The battle is starting to shape up just a little bit for second. The 59 of Jared Steens continues to start to close in on the 78 of Derek Hicks, but now the 78, he's found the grip on the low side. Looks like he's starting to pull away yet again from the 59 of Jared Steens.
Seems like Hicks used the high line down in 1 and 2, the low line in 3 and 4, figured out the fast way around this racetrack. Again, Dennis Elliott dealing with the lap car of Houston Johnson as we come down the front straightaway, as Johnson hangs tough as we go through turn number 1.
The 29 of Dennis Elliott, he's used the low side of the racetrack all race long. Hasn't moved from it once, and he's got almost a whole straightaway lead over the 78 of Derek Hicks.
Dennis Elliott's kind of racetrack. There's just enough moisture on the bottom of that track for him to hook up the horsepower on that 29 as he will lead with 2 laps to go, race fans. 2 laps to go that time by.
The next car to come into the clutches of the 29 of Dennis Elliott will be the 2H of John Hansen. The 29 is now going to get to his inside here off of turn number 4. Not quite. He's going to have to settle in behind him with white flag out here at I-35 Speedway.
One more time around for the big daddy, 29 of Dennis Elliott, as he is still trying to work the lap car of John Hansen as he goes down the back straightaway. Big cushion now for the 29 of Elliott as he dives under Hansen. He will be looking at the checkered flag.
Off of turn number 4, the 29 of Dennis Elliott will lead all 20 laps and pick up your USRA Modified feature win. Second will go to the 78 of Derek Hicks. Third to the 59 of Jared Steens. Fourth will go to the 21C of Chad Clancy. And off of turn number 4, rounding out your top 5, will be the 99 of Billy Hoover.
That's a pretty cool deal there. That's a pretty cool deal. There's some distant family of mine that won the barbecue contest. So that's
That's great to have them in victory lane with you here tonight. Dennis Elliott, your kind of racetrack. There's enough on the bottom. You hook that car number 29 up. Victory lane for you tonight.
Yeah, it was really good. I don't know though. I was messing up there towards the end, and I about spun it out a couple times there.
I noticed that, but I wasn't going to say nothing.
No, I did, and I thought like I was overusing my stuff up maybe a little bit, but we've come on to a little bit of stuff here, and it's not a huge deal, but it's really good, you know. I mean,
you know, you talk about using your stuff up. With those guys behind you, you about got to. You cannot let off. You can't, how you say it, you can't pedal a car with those guys around because they will pass you. They will come in a hurry.
Well, sometimes leading like that, it's just, it's tougher than running second or third sometimes because once you get in a rhythm, you just stay the same line and you don't move around much, and you can't really judge anybody, you know, other than when we got in lap traffic there. But yeah, I can't thank my dad and Dustin over here enough. I mean, we've had a pretty good weekend here. You know, I felt like we were pretty decent last night. And Zach was a better car. You know, and Zach was a better car last night. And but yeah, it's a lot of fun driving it.
I tell you what, great job. I tell you, you got a great crew behind you and everything. I know it's special to race with your dad and everything. I tell you what a show you're putting on. Now, I've got to throw this out at you, Dennis. I know that you don't really think about the points racing this time of the year or anything, but you are in the mix. 2 point championships in a row. Are you going for 3?
We've missed 2 nights and had to set out another night. We went into this year thinking we weren't going to do it, but you know, when a car's rolling this good, it's hard not to keep coming back. I mean, because when you're on to something, everybody catches up so quick that you better run with it, you know. I want to thank McGahey Farms, Glendenning Motor Company, TC Knoll GRT by TC. I forgot to thank him the last few weeks. He's helped me out. Napa Auto Parts, Schaefer Racing Oil by Brad Pickering, Toll Farms, Podium Inc. Everybody that helps me out on this, I can't thank them enough, you know. So it really means a lot because this is what we do this for.
You bet.
Congratulations, Dennis Elliott. Take that car back through Tech now. Great job behind the wheel here tonight. I tell you what, good to have your family with you. How about Dirt Road Barbecue? Grand champions, and you are the winner here tonight. Take that back. Enjoy this victory. Race fans, another round of applause to Big Daddy, Dennis Elliott. Everybody, next Saturday night for more dirt tracking at its best here, I-35 Speedway.